The new Apple TV is officially available in stores. Bitcoin's value is rallying again. Facebook tests a new local market feature that rivals Craigslist, and more. It's Friday, October 30th, and this is Crunch Report. Well, Facebook is at it again. Some users in Auckland, New Zealand, and in both Melbourne and Sydney, Australia, have spotted a new feature being tested in the iPhone app called Local Market, sometimes in place of the Messenger button at the bottom center of the screen. Now, Local Market, as the name implies, is a marketplace aimed at buyers and sellers that lets Facebook users either browse or post items to sell. Things like cars, appliances, furniture, clothing, household items, stuff for kids, books, you get the idea. The section is being populated by pulling items from Facebook's sale groups in any given geographic region. Now, sales groups are already a popular way that people are using Facebook groups already. It kind of happened on its own. In fact, Facebook said earlier this year that it hosts tens of millions of groups on its site, and sale groups were one of the most popular categories. So, let's say Local Market becomes a public feature. It could go up against the likes of Craigslist or Etsy, as long as people used it, of course. Facebook currently isn't the place you go to sell your books, but if you can convince users to do that, the commerce side of Facebook gets a lot more interesting. Chrome OS, that's the cloud-based operating system that Google runs on lots of affordable laptops and a few expensive ones. And Android, Google's mobile operating system for phones and tablets, may merge into one single product to rule them all. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. Now, the merge could happen as early as next year, maybe could even be introduced at next year's I.O. A few things point to this not being total BS. Android co-founder Andy Rubin left the company last year. That could indicate changes afoot. And Google CEO Sundar Pichai, who used to oversee Chrome, Chrome OS, apps, and Android, stated that mobile rules the world during Alphabet's most recent earnings call. Now, Chrome OS doesn't have native apps. Developers love native apps. But it does have Google apps, which companies and schools love a lot. And then there's Google's announcement of the Pixel C. Do you remember that one? It was the laptop tablet running full on Android. The whole thing is starting to not sound that far-fetched, actually. The new Apple TV with a brand new remote and its own app ecosystem is now available in retail stores. The set-top box starts at $149 at Apple stores. There's also a 64-gigabyte version for $199, and Best Buy and Target are carrying the device as well. Although, if you really wanted one, you probably already pre-ordered an Apple TV when it went on sale online last week. Apple has also redesigned the remote. It's way cooler now. It now has sensors to allow for more functionality and a touchpad for sliding control, skipping backward or forward, and even its own accelerometer and gyroscope for motion controls on games. Apple TV now supports universal search, voice control, and Siri integration as well. Although those who have used it say it's a lot more stripped down Siri than what we're used to on iOS. Remember when we talked about Bitcoin all the time? There were all these Bitcoin exchanges and they were all really exciting. Those were the days. When were those days even? Because all year the cryptocurrencies sort of languished well below its former value highs. However, we seem to have ourselves a rally because Bitcoin is now at its highest trading value of 2015, currently trading for around $320 per coin. Now, that is still nowhere near its former highs, but it's a lot better for investors than when it dipped below $200 earlier this year. Now, Bitcoin price is just one way to feel out the health of the overall ecosystem. Volume, difficulty, and the aggregate hash rate, which as TechCrunch's Alex Wilhelm explains to me has to do with the processing power of the currency as a whole based on total coins mined, they all come into play here. But when Bitcoin's price goes up, people also tend to get more interested in Bitcoin. And after a ton of Bitcoin-related startups got a lot of money to build their businesses, but then didn't necessarily have a proven business model, the market may be in a period of self-correction. Daily deals just are not the hot thing they once were. And the latest company to pull out of the space is Amazon. The Amazon local homepage now informs customers that the platform is closing down on December 18th, 2015. At that point, the company will stop selling deals via the website and in the Amazon local mobile app. although the company says if you have already bought a deal, don't panic, it will still be honored. The shift away from daily deals is very real. Local deals platform Living Social, which is partly owned by Amazon, announced this month that it's laying off 200 people, or about 20% of its staff, and moving away from the deals model to focus on something called experiences. And Groupon, kind of the king of the daily deals fad, announced 1,100 layoffs in September and ceased operations in several non-US markets. So Amazon will no longer directly run a daily deals platform, but it'll still offer things like Deal of the Day and Kindle Daily Deals via the main Amazon.com website. One quick note, we are going to be doing Crunch Report from Beijing, China all next week. I don't know exactly how that's going to work out, but rest assured, on Monday, I'll be in China and you'll have a show. Thanks for watching. I'm Sarah Lane. Crunch Report airs every weekday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on TechCrunch.com. You can find us on iTunes and on YouTube as well. Happy Halloween, everyone, and we'll see you Monday.